See, always I fond of fixing issues. See, when you fix an issue, then only you will be able to learn. You will be able to learn in two different aspects. You can go by book, you do some implementation, you understood the implementation. But actual learning happens when there is a trouble or issue happens. You are a bank. You own a bank. What happens, you have a set of systems which are legacy systems. I was explaining about that integration aspect earlier, right? You have a set of legacy systems installed in the bank and you want to modernize it. One aspect, one problem is actually your legacy system is unable to interact with the modern system, or if you want to implement something modern, there is no direct seamless integration or seamless connectivity, right? So what do you do?
So when you see this growth happening and Reflections investing in this particular area, for you as the head of this particular COE, what does success look like? Hi, welcome to ReflecTalks, a series of video conversations in which Reflections leaders talk about the practices, services, and new initiatives at Reflections, especially in the context of the changing trends in technology and industry. Today, we have with us Syam Kumar Ravindran, Head, Hybrid Integrations and Application Engineering Center of Excellence at Reflections. Hi Syam,
Hi.
Welcome to this conversation and glad to have you here. First, can you introduce your role as the head of Center of Excellence, which is dealing with hybrid integrations and applications engineering?
Okay. So, first of all, I'll just give a glimpse of what a COE meant for. Because every organization has three different verticals. Like one is actually the operation vertical, and then one is actually delivery of the projects to the client and customers, and the third one is actually which actually hide behind the scene, which is called Center of Excellence. We call it, we divide it into different practices which actually make the organization technically capable of facing any customer challenge, any problem solving capabilities. So actually COEs are actually meant to grow technical capabilities, adapting to cutting edge technology stacks, latest technology trends. All these things are actually the sole purpose of Center of Excellence.
So they're very relevant in the current context.
It always relevant. It was there before, it will be there, and it will be there for in the future also, because it is an integral part of organization which actually deals with the latest trends, technology stacks, how we adopt it, how we implement it in our projects, how we enable our customer with the latest trends in the technology, how we bring down the cost, how we modernize the things. So basically this particular practice, hybrid integrations and application engineering, meant for, so it has two parts. Like one is actually application engineering, which actually traditional application development, architecture, design, product engineering, enterprise architecture, all this comes under application engineering. Since we term it application engineering, it actually covers a wide range of like tech stack or technology areas. Okay, so basically this covers all the architectural aspects, technology stacks and everything. Hybrid integration means, what does an integration mean? Integration is basically something which you want to connect and get data from some place and do some processing and put it into some place, right? So that is basically called an integration. So hybrid integration means we deal with multiple types of integrations. If you consider, we have a data practice here, right? I mean, in data practice, they basically focus on warehouses and get the data from different sources and put it into a warehouse, process it and generate insights out of it. But what is different from that perspective to this perspective is hybrid integration actually deals with any kind of integration. It could be any system with any protocol, any kind of integration features available. For example, consider the legacy systems. They might don't have an API endpoint to get this data out of that system and put it into some basically some systems will be like exporting it into a CSV file and putting in or into an Excel or tab separated file and put it into a SFTP location. That will be the only possible way of getting data out of it. Then how does we integrate that legacy to a modern system? What we do is actually modern system. We will be writing some scripts or batch jobs or integration mechanisms which will read out that data and put it into the destination system. So basically, or if you consider if it is not a legacy, it is a modern system which have a API endpoint, and the destination system also have an API endpoint. I will write a middleware script which actually read that data and put it in the destination. So it defines any kind of integration. So basically, this practice meant for doing application engineering with all these related to architecture, like a product engineering, application engineering, solution engineering, enterprise engineering. All these comes under application engineering, that terminology. And hybrid integration actually means for all these kind of integration. Any kind of integration, you name it, that will fall under this one.
Okay. Syam, at present, what you're handling is a very responsible role. How did your professional journey lead to the space?
Okay, so I'll quickly summarize my entire career journey, and then I'll explain about my current role also. So I started as a software trainer. I actually trained people to, get into hands-on into technologies, different technologies and all. Then I moved on to a software developer role. Then I worked for a few years. Then I moved on to a lead role. Then I understand that, it's not development or developer role as it is. There are more positions which are actually meant to do more in this IT industry. So then I realized that whom I should be. I should be going in a delivery side or becoming a project manager or delivery manager. I should be going into a technical stack and go to that ladder and find out my ultimate peace with it. Okay. Then I figured out that, for any software platform needs someone who designed that system, right? Mm-hmm. That's how I actually found out that there are positions like just like building architects. There are software architects who actually design the system, who lay out the foundation, who decides what component to use, where to use, how we protect the software system, how we identify the cost, how we can reduce the cost, how we can actually recommend something to our customer, our team. So that's how I actually identified that these architect kind of a positions are actually meant for me. Then I actually moved on to that role. Then that journey actually continued from past 15 years, and then I reached to this role. I joined Reflections 7 years back, and I started as a solution architect here. Then I moved on to senior technical architect, then to this COE head position. And this role is actually, I always found it's a key role to support all our delivery teams, our customers, and so that they can easily get the project. For the delivery people, actually, how I support is I actually help them to develop reusable frameworks, components, which actually make their daily life more easy, so that they can actually deliver very fast, so that our customers actually, if you deliver fast, timeline is reduced, right? So customer will save some money. And if you deliver quality deliverables, it will not require much of the issue fixes, support and all. So that again benefits customer as well as internally for our team. They can actually focus into something else, a new work or new customer, right? And from a cost perspective, if you are actually bringing down the cost or the infrastructure or resources or development timeline, that actually benefits for the customer as well as the delivery organization within our company. So my role is actually to help delivery teams, customers to get things done faster.
Delivery is the most crucial area.
Yes.
Your contribution is towards that area.
Yeah, delivery, of course, delivery, through delivery, customer.
Yes. And what do you enjoy the most in this role?
Troubleshooting and fixing issues. Okay. See, always I fond of fixing issues. See, when you fix an issue, then only you will be able to learn. You will be able to learn in two different aspects. You can go by book, you do some implementation, you understood the implementation. But actual learning happens when there is a trouble or issue happens. When you find an issue in a system and you troubleshoot it, you identify it, you solve it, that time learning actually doubles. That is what actually excites me, because it's not a plain brick by brick installation or building, right? It's always should we have some trouble, so that's how you will be able to learn more.
That's an interesting take, Syam.
Yeah, I always fond of, facing issues and solving it.
Okay.
That's how you can be a solution provider, right?
Definitely. Syam, you mentioned the key activities of the Center of Excellence that you are heading, and you basically work on solving certain issues for the customers and certain problem areas. Can you elaborate on the key problem areas that you're working for the customer?
Yeah, I could actually give you a certain set of scenarios. See, suppose you're a bank, you own a bank. What happens, you have a set of systems which are legacy systems. I was explaining about that integration aspect earlier, right? You have a set of legacy systems installed in the bank and you want to modernize it. One problem is actually your legacy system is unable to interact with the modern system, or if you want to implement something modern, there is no direct seamless integration or seamless connectivity, right? So what do? Either you develop a new stuff and move everything from there to here, right? But what happens? You need an additional investment, right? Second aspect, either you build your new things in new technology stack, keep your legacy stuff as it is and integrate it.
Okay.
So we identify which one will be most suitable for you. Suppose if you have a large investment already existing in your legacy, we don't want to replace it entirely. We will build customer facing or friend facing application modern technology stack, and we'll get the data from the legacy and put it into or process it and then share through this modernized front facing applications. So modernization is one aspect, key problem we try to solve for large organizations.
Where you focus on the cost-effective aspect.
Yeah, we will be focusing on the cost-effective aspects, mostly focusing on the cost-effective solutions. But certain aspects, certain customers will be they want to stick on their existing stack. For example, you might have seen some of our customers are actually into only Microsoft platform. They might be using a set of features or capabilities or functionalities from their Microsoft cloud, and suppose if we want to add on something else along with that current stack within the same platform, it might be some little bit costly, but still they want it. But we will be providing cost-effective options outside the platform and inside the platform also, and if at all customer needs exactly same stack and all, irrespective of what cost it matters, we actually align with that. Only thing is it is feasible or not. That we will be identifying and then telling them that this is feasible, but it's a bit costly option.
Okay.
But mostly what we do is actually, however we can reduce the cost, that is a primary thing we try for any customer. Then the long-term durability of the stack. See, suppose we are suggesting something to a customer and that thing is actually going to have an end of life in next 2 years, it is irrelevant, right? I build it and in next 2 years it is technology is irrelevant, obsolete.
In today's context, it is
it's so important. It is happening fast,
yeah.
Right? If you see any technology stack in a 6-month time or 1 year time, the next version will be there. So we should actually identify the long stable item or stack or version, so that and then suggest it with a cost-effective way. So modernization is one aspect. For example, legacy applications, mostly bulky applications, single monolithic kind of applications, and modern applications are actually distributed kind of ones, which will be having multiple services. Each service will be performing individual business responsibility and all, so that you can actually maintain it easily. For one example, if your bank has this payment service, credit card, all these services are there. Suppose if it is a distributed system, one service is down, then that service will be down. But if it is a bulk single service or single application, what happens? Entire system will be down. Your bank is not going to work for a certain time of period, right? So when we move into modernization era, or when we do a modernization, we will be considering these aspects also. We will be like, making them distributed so that it won't fail altogether. So there is no single point of failure. So all these architectural concepts we will be analyzing, and then we will be deciding that this kind of a solution is suitable for this particular customer. Okay. Or this kind of a technology stack is suitable for the customer. Then another aspect is actually solving the integration issues. Your bank has an integration with another bank, or your bank has an integration with a government entity. You need to validate the KYC document. So how does do? So it's out of your ecosystem, right? So that place you need an integration. So that's where the hybrid integration comes up.
Okay.
Your bank has integration with government entities. Your bank has integration with other banks. Your bank has integration with other entities. Maybe insurance provider is there. Their payment is going through your bank. Just giving an example. So that is where hybrid integration comes up.
Okay.
So we solve basically these kind of problems. We create accelerators, frameworks which can actually speed up this delivery also. Okay. So that is one of the core responsibilities of a center of excellence. Not just this one. Is actually creating reusable components so that you can make the delivery faster. You can reuse it and so that delivery will be faster. You will be saving money. Customer will be saving money. That's all. Everybody will be happy.
Okay. Syam, you elaborated on the general activities and the key problem areas that the Center of Excellence has been working on. Can you give some examples of the initiatives that you have been part of these days? Okay.
So I can give one or two key initiatives which we have recently done. One is actually for a immigration platform modernization for a government entity in Middle Eastern region. So basically what they had is actually same thing. I was giving a bank example of legacy, right? They have a large set of legacy systems, legacy integrations, and they want to, especially this immigration platform is outdated, and they have a lot of data issues. It has a lot of device integrations. For example, I can give you your passport is getting scanned, your iris is scanned. So a lot of device integrations are also there. The problem is actually sometimes these integration does not work properly. Sometimes the data which they are receiving is unable to process and get the proper insight. For example, when you scan your passport, that passport number is passport detail is actually extracted and then sent to a service and then get the data about you and all, right. Sometimes this does not complete in time.
Okay.
So when you are at an immigration counter, it should be faster, right? The process should be faster. So a lot of performance issues were there, a lot of data loss issues were there, duplication of data, then a lot of device integration related issues, then a lot of other integrations with other entities, other services were there. So what we did is actually we did an assessment, we made an inventory of existing ones. Then we did a feasibility analysis of what kind of a technology stack will be feasible for them, what kind of a design we have to lay out for them. Then we went through a high-level design phase where we laid out all the tech stacks, how the system should be separated, how the business concerns should be segregated. All these things we identified. We laid out the high-level architecture for the infrastructure plus the application inventory. Then what we did is we went for a low-level design phase where we actually drill down each and every module component to a further level in a double-click way, and we identified individual micro-level services, microservices kind of a thing. Then what it does, how it communicates with other services, how the security has to be in place for all these services, how we can protect the services from external threats. So all the aspects, not just developing that service, its front end, security, infrastructure, all the architectural concerns were actually addressed in the low-level design phase. And second example I could give is actually for a large-scale bank in APAC region. They already have some modernized ecosystem and all. Legacy is there, it's all there. But their problem was something different. it's a bank, right? Daily large number of transactions will be going on, millions of transactions going on forex. It's a I could say this like it's a first or second largest bank in that particular country.
Okay.
So there will be millions of transactions happening through their bank systems and all. But the problem is whenever something happens, there is no visibility. Visibility in the sense like they suppose one transaction failure or one of the services failed. They are informed bit late.
Okay.
Since they are being informed bit late, the corrective act or corrective action is taken late. So
Okay.
that's so banking services are you expect to be instant, right?
Yes.
So suppose one critical system in that ecosystem fails, it is that failure is notification delayed, then that since the notification delayed,
So it affects the whole transaction service.
whole system, right? I mean, suppose your payment service is actually broken or crashed, and your support team is actually identified sometime 5 minutes late. Then think of in a minute, millions of transactions going on. 5 minutes, the service is down. What is the impact to the customers?
Yes.
So they want better visibility. Better visibility in the sense like better observability for all their ecosystem.
Any error is detected and notified.
Yeah. So what they wanted is like self end-to-end observability of all their application inventory and their infrastructure. So in an automated way. So that is where they actually identified that SRE is one of the best choice rather than traditional support. So we went there, we sit with their application team, infra team and all, identified all the inventories, then all the touch points of all the logging mechanism. We consolidated everything. We implemented the site reliability engineering practice for that particular bank. We established the automation of like for example automatic incident management. So whenever that incident is happened, that time that instant itself a ticket is created and assigned to a service engineer.
Okay.
So we automated all these things. So we created the process, we created the strategy, we created this automated process, sample process for them, so that they can actually replicate it in all the systems. One another example is suppose one service is down. Who is going to restart it again?
Okay.
One thing is it should be notified. Second is that person has to go log into the console and then restart that. Suppose there is a way to notify the person at the same instant when it is failed, and there is an automatic way to restart the service that instance itself, then
There's no time lag.
There is no lag, there is no delay. Service will be automatically restarted. The respective stakeholder is already informed, already escalated. So basically what we did is we set up all the end-to-end automation for this SRE process, site reliability engineering process. So we set up a well-defined observability practice plus a well-versed automation setup, so that everything will be automated. Even some basic issues were actually automatically fixed. Now the trend is actually moving on to AI side. Earlier it was fully process automation related stuff. Now it's AI agents is actually going to fix issues for you.
Syam, you just mentioned AI. Today when we discuss technology and work, we cannot skip AI adoption in SDLC. And how is it shifting or affecting your work?
It actually, we could actually make it separate two things. One is especially AI in SDLC. The other is actually influence of AI in all the architectural perspective. That I think we should have a separate detailed session for that. So coming on to SDLC side, see, we know that there were traditional SDLC models were existing, then it evolved into Agile. Then Agile actually have different types of methodologies and all. So that was actually even how you deliver fast, how shorten your duration, how you manage your requirements, whether it is in a short term delivery or it's a long term, means like short sprint or long sprint, or it's a waterfall model kind of a thing. But within that delivery life cycle, when the AI came into the picture, it affected everything. See, suppose for example, whenever you are, we can consider either you get a proposal, sorry, you get an RFP. What is the first activity you will be doing? You will be going through the RFP, you will be understanding the requirements, then what do you do? You will be like, defining a high level, at least a high level architecture based on the what is the expectation of the customer. So nowadays, the pre-sales or RFP response or proposal mechanisms are actually automated. I was giving this statement because it's from the very starting stage itself, AI has influence.
Automated, yeah.
AI has influence. So whenever I get an RFP document, I can just pass it on to an AI model, or I can create AI agent specifically for analyzing RFP and extracting BRD. So recently, one of the example I could say is we were actually working on a RFP for a government entity, and we received this RFP. I segregated all the requirements from that document, put it into a document. Then I created an agent who actually, I given all the instructions, rules, guardrails, everything, and detailed prompt instructions, how to create a business requirement document out of this basic set of features which listed. So it generated a very detailed BRD. Sticking onto the context. Then I given another set of prompts, and I generated a basic design document. So that is actually comes into whenever the pre-sales is happening. Then you move on to actual development life cycle starts. You have this BRD. How does a business analyst or a scrum master going to translate this into user stories? They'll be going through it, analyze it logically, then they create story one by one. You create epics, you create stories, everything you put into Jira or Azure DevOps, whichever management tool you are going to use. Earlier, it was a very detailed manual effort. Now, if you give this BRD, it will generate entire user stories out of it. So that stage is automated through AI. The next step. So as part of agile methodology, whenever you create user stories, you will be creating test cases also, right? It will once the user story is created, then if you feed that into the AI, you will be getting end-to-end test cases also. With respect to all the, so if you write, so depending on how detailed your user stories are. If your user stories, your out of the BRD document, the user story generation is, if it covers every aspect of that particular feature, then your test case will also be so much covering, having all that much of coverage. So your test case generation is automated. Now comes the part of actual development, DevOps, then automation test cases. Your test case document preparation is happened. Now, if you feed that test cases into another AI, specifically to create the test automation script, it will generate it. Your developer, you can see. I'm not saying that we are going to entirely replace human. But certain set of agents will be there, developer agents or code review agents, issue fixing agents. Those agents will be there who will be working in peer with you.
That vibe coding is.
Vibe coding, I am giving instruction to a tool, and I am getting the code generator, I am putting it into a repository, I am hosting it, and I am seeing that result, what happened. That is actually vibe coding without much of difficulties. I generated end-to-end source code. I'm saying that as a peer to me, just like you are sitting near to me, there will be an AI agent who will be writing features for me or for this particular application along with me. I'll be writing features. I mean, I'll be developing the source code for maybe feature 1, 2, 3, and here the agent will be developing 4, 5, 6.
So your coworker is an AI agent.
Yeah, recently Cloud released Cowork, right? So that again, so AI will be like working in peer with you, helping you in actually your day-to-day life. So suppose if you took 10 days to develop a feature, with the help of AI, you can develop it in 5 days. Half of the time you saved, half of the money you saved, customers' money you saved, right? Then that is in the development days. Then same thing applicable for testing engineers also. When it comes to the like security aspect, all the security implementation we have done for this infrastructure, we have done for this source code, everything can be validated using AI tools.
And also there is a compliance with
So so we have to adhere for. There are industry specific compliances, there are regional specific compliances. Suppose if you go and you're going to build a healthcare application for a US healthcare client, you need to adhere with NIST, HIPAA and all, right? And if you are going to a certain region, for example, if even within US itself, if you move on to California, they have CCPA, the California Consumer Protection Act. If you go to Middle Eastern countries, every country now have their own personal data protection law. Even India has it.
Yes.
So every region, they have a set of regulatory complaints you need to meet if you are going to handle the data of that particular country or handle the data within that country, right? Or within that region. So compliances and regulation always, nowadays it's so relevant and important. Your architecture has to address it. Your application design has to address it. Now your AI agents or AI tools which you are going to use should have that regulatory guardrails in place so that it will comply to all these things. Otherwise, it will be, see, when AI comes into the picture, it cannot go and do whatever it wants, right? So it has to comply with these guardrails and all, and it has to align with this regional compliance. It has to align with that industry-specific compliance. So that angle, we have to actually create restrictions, guardrails, regulations, rules, and agents abiding with all these things has to be created separately for these things.
Okay, Syam. Actually, you have really explained the complexity of working.
It's actually a complex stuff. It's evolving. There are these AI things are actually evolving so fast. Different kind of architectures are actually evolving day-to-day basis. Different types of communication protocol between. Just like we talk each other, these agents can talk each other with communicate with each other with certain set of standards, certain set of protocols, and how we arrange it, that is called this agentic architecture.
Okay.
So that is actually evolving. Whenever somebody actually figure out a new way of implementation, that could be a new architecture.
Syam, you have explained how complex the work situation today is, especially after AI adoption. When these global trends are changing, what is Reflections doing, and what is the strategy of Reflections to stay ahead?
So I would say that Reflections actually started adopting AI very early stages, because I feel that whenever this trend of, when OpenAI brought in ChatGPT and all, right, most of us actually started using that. See, it's actually just for, day-to-day documentation purpose, generating some bits and pieces of code. Then in a 1 month time or 2 month time, we started actually adopting this into all of our SDLC stages. And now I feel that our AI adoption in SDLC is really matured, and also adoption in other areas. Like, when we design an architecture, we always consider the possibility of integrating AI tools, agents, or any other AI frameworks and all. So basically, I feel that we already moved ahead, and we are very relevant in the industry, and we can actually contribute a lot in our customer modernization activities, because I mean earlier we were only talking about modernizing from a legacy monolith to what is this? I mean this micro services and all, but now we talks about agentic architectures. So I feel that in every proposal when it comes to reflections, when we give the proposal response, that will be always having a part for a, that might be in the architecture, that might be in the choice of technology stack, that might be in the even SDLC aspects also. We are actually relevant. We are staying ahead of other organizations, and I feel we will be developing more and more agentic frameworks, and we will be bringing in more automation into SDLC space, and of course the key term which I was talking earlier about observability. So all the post-production monitoring, automated healing, all these things we will be bringing more and more AI aspects.
Very happy to hear this, Syam. And also one question in relation to this. When you see this growth happening and Reflections investing in this particular area, for you as the head of this particular COE, what does success look like?
Success, okay. It's not my success. It's not, and what I'm saying, it's not just my success. It's not just my team success, my organization success. It's actually the success of customer also. So if everything is a win-win situation, that is a success I define. In this area or in this aspect or in this AI era, I would say that one thing is actually always reducing the effort of getting things done. Second is with the proper quality. Then reducing the other aspects of the cost and all. So every side should be having a win-win situation. You should actually deliver with good quality, with good architecture, with good cost, with a good timeline, with a lesser number of issues. So if we achieve ideal stage on all these things, customer will be happy, our team will be happy, then I will be also happy. That's what my point of view.
Syam, we have had a pretty detailed conversation about your role and the changing trends in the industry and how Reflections is adapting to stay ahead. And do you have, with your long stint in the industry, you have any suggestions, or you want to share some experience with young engineers who want to move into software architecture and leadership roles?
Yes, of course, there are a lot of advice, but specifically I will point out to the younger generation. I mean, this era of engineers who are getting out of college and moving on to this, especially into this IT industry, specifically into application development or any area, key area, which has an impact for the customer. What I'm saying is, you should actually learn properly, understand properly, then apply it properly, even without the help of any AI tool. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying vibe coding is a bad thing. You should do you should do. We also will be doing it in the future, but you should have an understanding of what is the stuff you are going to fit in that piece of code, or piece of script you are developing, or anything, or any documentation you are generating, or presentation. So you can do that vibe thing, but only thing is you should have a proper understanding of what you fit in that, or what you put into that basket. Especially coming into the software architecture, the architecture evolved from a long period of time to reach this stage, and now we are actually inducing AI into architecture. So my advice is, whenever you having a good understanding of the architecture means you are having good understanding of what that application built with. What is the security mechanism? What is the quality mechanism? What is the design methodologies you have adopted. So without knowing this, if you are just building an application using a vibe coding mechanism for using a tool, I personally felt that it's not right. You should have a basic understanding of. So I advise is, if they are moving on to the architectural position, leadership roles, they should have an understanding of what is happening inside of anything which you have developed.
So when a problem comes, they should be able to solve
it, because not always AI could solve all the problems,
Yes.
right? And there is always a human in the loop mechanism.
Yes.
AI is actually not to replace you.
Yes.
You will be in the loop. You will be working in peer with your a tool or whatever it is. So my suggestion is, humble request is, actually you should understand what you are building. You should understand how it is built. Then only you can actually move on to the higher roles, because otherwise everything, AI will not be doing everything for you. Something is there for you, right?
Yeah, you will be equipped. You should be equipped to handle
correct.
use
Yes,
AI.
yes. You should be able to see, when you are going to meet a customer, you are not going to take an AI agent with you, right? You are talking in person with your customer. So
Yes.
you should be able to explain what you are offering, what can you do, what are your recommendations. So for that, you can take a help from AI, but you have to have an understanding to speak with the customer, right? Because that will be a person-to-person interaction.
Exactly. Actually, that message, like human expertise and interpersonal connections, is a very important, and this is the context in which that human importance is still relevant.
Yes, always see, anything which we talk about AI, it always refers to have a human in the loop, right?
Yes.
So always human is important. So you should be able to explain what you built out of from an AI tool. That's all.
Exactly, Syam. Yeah, Syam, actually that is the right message to end this conversation with. The right kind of experience that you're sharing with youngsters who want to be in this space. Thank you for the conversation. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That was Syam Kumar Ravindran, Head, Hybrid Integrations and Application Engineering, Center of Excellence at Reflections, talking to us about the activities of the Center of Excellence and his role. See you in the next episode of Reflect Talks with another expert. Thank you.